Smoothers, g'day. Well, finally broke my YouTube hiatus, and what a day to do it. I'm heading to the beach shortly because I think I've seen too much bad juju today and I want to throw it out into the ocean and get rid of it. So I'm live in case someone wants to come on a beach walk with me, a bit of beach therapy. It's like the new grasses in my garden. And a yucca too. Not a cockatoo, that's a yucca. I have to bring them in really close for you guys to see it because you get the zoom. I like this one, the pink one. It's pretty. Oh my God, green eyes, hello. I love my Banksia, but it's losing all of its leaves for the autumns. But how cute is its trunk? Look at its trunk. Hey, Serenity Bee. I'm dressed highly inappropriately for the weather. I'm dressed like it's the middle of summer, and it's not. But that's all right, a brisk beach walk with you guys. Hey, Bristol. Your bloody yuccas are about 18 feet high now. That's what I'm hoping for. I've got 3 down on my block too. But I want a big fat yucca right in front of my house. I mean, nothing says beach like a yucca. So yeah, I'm heading to the beach for some de-jujuing. And yeah, I can't believe I thought, I might just... I had a bit of time. I've got a lot going on at the moment. A lot of it will come to fruition at some point and you'll know what's been going on. But I've been absent from YouTube because I've had heaps on and also a busy life. It is big news, Francesca. Hello. But the bad juju is not just the whole thing that happened today with Molly, which in itself, you know, I've bounced around and tried to get every side of the story. The real bad juju from observing this mess, this shambolic disaster, is the volume of people that will defend a creator and call anyone else who's just saying, hey, you've actually got the facts a bit wrong. Maybe rethink your opinion on it when you know all the facts. You're instantly a hater, or you're angry or shouting at them, or a million other negative terms. You're a troll. How is it that there are so many human beings on the planet who are so narrow-minded? Yeah, it's cool here too, Francesca, and I'm wearing like a little skirt and singlet top, so like a little tank top. So I think I might get a bit cut in thongs. Best news, Tori, about time. What's that? My break from YouTube or what's happening on YouTube? Look, I think it's about time, and I think it's about time other channels were called into question as well, you know. Yeah, it was quite the thing. I weirdly had a moment to listen to YouTube while I was doing some domestic duties. I don't know how I ended up on the channel I was on, but they were talking about scandals and shit involving MGL, and then someone in the chat had mentioned that she was live, and the host said, oh, is she live at the moment? And then I thought, I might pop over. I haven't honestly gone over to her channel for years now. And went over there, and it was less than a minute later, her channel, boom, all the live gone. I made it happen. No, there's a shitload of unreasonable people, though. Yeah, the MGL thing, I know. Hey, Joey. You were on Queen Bee. No, it was a dude that was talking. I know the chat. I mean, I've seen him. He sort of calls out the death vultures some of the death vultures that I do. So I actually go around and look at. Hang on, let's go for a stroll. You're waiting for a doctor's appointment. Oh, well, I'll keep you amused. Hopefully, while you wait. There's me baby yucca. One day it'll be a big tree. Yes, it was a dude. But yeah, I bounce around to see all the other channels that are calling out what I call the death vultures. The tragedy pimps is probably their most common name. I mean, they certainly pimp a tragedy, but I think death vultures is, pretty appropriate. There are people in wetsuits with their boogie boards down there. That's something I have been doing a lot of lately. A lot. Just a tip, guys, when you volunteer for the Disabled Surfers Association and you have to wear a rashie that would fit a 9-year-old, try not to get any photos. You won't like them. How you doing? Your puppy is so cute. Yeah. Tiny.
Go for a walk, Karen.
Well, at least she's light.
Yeah.
No, her channel, hey Savannah, her channel hasn't been terminated, but it is being reviewed because YouTube took down a live that she was in the middle of, which had a fundraiser happening for St. Jude, and I think she'd raised about $5,000 when the live got taken down. But the people defending her are saying, she was raising money for St. Jude. What have you done? And it's like, YouTube took it down for breaching terms of service mid-live. And then she called into a creator who I could barely watch because I couldn't believe how wrong the creator, who didn't actually see much of Molly's live anyway, how wrong she was. And she looked like a fool defending Molly. And Molly rang in and said, oh, it's because of the music. It's a copyright strike. But, I mean, I did look at terms of service, and the message on her video, on that live from YouTube, where it does say terms of service, I did read it, and it can include a copyright strike. However, they took down a second live that she did in the last 48 hours that didn't have music or a fundraiser for St. Jude, so people that were using that as some sort of, I don't know, but she was doing good things when it happened. Yeah, right. With the same message from YouTube, violating terms of service. And you don't want to be getting the third one of those anytime soon. And I don't have a screenshot of it, unfortunately, but Team YouTube, from what I could gather, responded. Hello. Hello, Justin. Oh, it's Gareth. Hello. Where's your little sissy? I can't see the screen at all at the moment. I'll have to find a little spot on the beach so we can just chat and get through all of the facts. But anyone joining, hello. We are heading to the beach because we have much juju, bad juju, to throw into the oceans and let it float away. She was, Savannah, yes. And that was the thing. Because those who blindly 100% back Molly, there's no point reading their comments because they're all deluded fools. I've said this so many times on my channels. It's okay to not like something that somebody you like does from time to time, you know. It's actually healthy to admit that we're all imperfect and we all I'm not saying that Molly made a mistake. Molly was being Molly, but you don't have to like someone 100% and think that everything they do is amazing. But there were some people who are supporters and some even members of Molly's who were criticising her. So there are voices of reason in this gigantic pond of shit, you know. They're not all blind. But they were all accused of being trolls and give us the goss. Burnt Toast put a screenshot of hers. I don't know. I didn't know what it was about, but it says exactly what you just said. Thanks, Bristol. Yeah. See, I'm the little channel that nobody knows about who makes sense. And I'm validated by Burnt Toast. Bring it on. Unlike another person who has been calling out the tragedy pimps, who gave a little spiel, because when I said bouncing around, I checked in on a heap of different creators just to see, you know, where they are, what they're doing. I'm curious. I want to know. I care about this community. And while I'm on that topic, anyone who ever responds to anything with, if you don't like them, don't watch them, well, you can all get fucked too. Because I care about this community, and when you care about a community, you care about everyone in it. And you're watching all the great stuff that goes on, and you're keeping an eye on all the dodgy shit too. That's what being an active member of a community is. I can't handle these people who are blindly defending her, Molly, who YouTube clearly has a problem with because they've removed not one but 2 lives of hers for violating terms of service. And their response is something you'd expect from a preschooler. Now, if you don't like it, don't watch it. No, sorry. I'm an active member of this community and I care about people. And I'm going to call out bullshit when I see it. Sorry if you don't like that. But this whole, it's fine. We'll go, look, my little horseshoe's free. I might be able to get a shady bit. Hang on. Because I want to read your comments. No, I can't read a friggin' thing. I wonder if my phone's about to overheat. I thought this was a good idea. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to have the camera on you. Let me see if I can get in the shade around here. No. Okay. I didn't have a problem reading chat on the track just then. I might have to go back there for a second. Because I really want to chat with you guys. I miss you. And I was like, I need to hang out with like-minded, reasonable people who are okay with admitting that sometimes somebody they like fucks up. Not that I think I have many MGL fans in my community, but let me just say, if I do, I'd like to think you're reasonable enough to admit that even Molly fucks up. YouTube thinks she's fucked up. They've taken down 2 lives for breaching terms of service. So all this other distraction, and she was doing a fundraiser. What have you done today? It's the biggest pile of shite. Because even in the brief amount of time that I saw her before her live went boom, she didn't mention St. Jude once until she said she'd donated $100. And it was not long after that her live went boom. She was doing a lot of ranting about Mallory in particular, and don't think for a second, guys, either that this is a pro-Mallory live. Don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of trans bashing at all. And Molly has said plenty of things in the last couple of weeks since their little breakup that were totally out of line and were 100% trans bashing. But Mallory's a shifty little number as well. And I used to really like Mallory. I did a video. I took it down a couple of years ago, I decided I was going to do like a little tribute video to lots of different creators and just sort of hone in on something that they, like a little quirk of theirs or something they did all the time. And for Mallory, I did a whole, like a video of a whole range of different notepads. This was back in the day when she used to sit there with her notes. And I used to find that so funny. And then she decided she wasn't going to do it anymore. And from that point on, I really lost interest in her. But, I mean, weirdly, I did one for Laura because she says the word weird all the time. So I did one for her, like with a heap of different words that mean weird, and I ended it with perplexed. Ironic, huh? She goes, it's so weird. I'm like, fuck, find another word. You've got a word in your name that means weird. Let me see if I can get back in the lane, in the track for a sec, because I really want to read your comments, Groovers. I mean, I might go live from home too. I just thought this is sometimes a good time to go live. It can be like a bit of an after party for the US peeps that are still in the mood for partying and everyone else has gone to bed. But if I can't read the chat, but hello to anyone who's rolled on in. Nana Lee. Hello. Hang on. Now, we've all been watching this decline, and it has got to a point, it's bigger than all of us, you know. None of us can fix it. Someone had to intervene, and YouTube have. It's going to look so weird if I hang out in here. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'll just have to keep an eye on the track. People coming up and down it and me just hanging out in the shade. You remember that vid, Francesca? Nice to have you here, Nana Lee. Yeah, the videos. That was another thing. I went onto a website where you can look at channels and you can see all of the videos they've deleted. And because I wanted to make sure that before I went live, you know, that the two videos had definitely been taken down by YouTube. But I'd also checked in on her channel and I saw that the distance, like for the most recent live of hers, the amount of time was getting longer and longer. Like it was, you know, went from being like yesterday to then it was like the most recent one was 2 weeks ago, and it kept getting, the gap got bigger and bigger. And I think the last time I looked at her channel, it was like 2 months ago. And again, there were people supporting her saying it was just a copyright strike for music in her most recent live. And I was like, no. And then people were going over there and looking at her channel and going, her channel's still there. It all looks fine. It's like, do you want to have a look at the date of the last live on there now? Do you think someone might be frantically deleting a whole heap of shit right now? And they've still called me out for being a troll. But there were so many people. I mean, even in Laura's channel, one of her mods was calling it all out, and I loved that. So she's cancelling her members. She's telling people she's cancelling having members. Yeah, more like YouTube, exactly. I mean, a lot of the time the channels don't go, but the monetization definitely goes. I think the implosion is happening. I just couldn't. It's really good to have you here. Yes, look, she does, but today she has done a massive swoop or sweep, a massive sweep. She's swooped on her channel and did a huge sweep, more than usual. What's happening on Twitter? She had to pay Laura because Laura was the only person sticking up for it. But Laura sounded stupid because Laura didn't watch it. She only saw a little bit of it. And, if that's the case, then start your live by asking everyone to fill you in on what you missed. But Laura had very strong opinions and started going off on this rant at people, and we were all sort of pointing out that it was just videos that had been taken down by YouTube with the terms of service violation, not a music copyright one. Like, very different, those two things. But then, and she called us all liars, but then she twisted it to say that we were all saying her channels had gone. And no one had been saying it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there were people that came in and out that were saying that, because I think that rumour must have been flying around too. But don't scream at your subs. I mean, I'm not a sub, but even one of her mods, like I said, was being very vocal about Molly fucking up. Don't call them all liars when you haven't actually got on top of what's happened and then twist it. Yeah, and I made a comment in there. I said, look, in all due respect, I don't think this is the day to be supporting Molly. Let's look into what YouTube's doing and why. And even if you like her, talk about how she might have fucked up a bit, That's what reasonable people do. That's what I do with people in my real life. That's what I do with you guys. That's why I love this community. Because even if I fucked up, you guys would tell me and we'd chat about it. And hopefully I'd learn from whatever I did wrong, or I'd be able to explain myself or clarify that that was a misunderstanding, or just completely take it on the chin because I fucked up. And you know what would happen then? I wouldn't do it again. And we'd all move on. I thought it was safe to come back out of my little hidey hole, but I don't think it is. But yeah, the bad juju is not just her shit. And her shit, let's be honest, is bad shit. But these blind, one-eyed supporters who just argue like children. If you don't like her, don't watch her. Well, sorry, fuckface, even I'm a fairly passive community member. Like, I like being on YouTube. I love having channels and it's good fun. But I'm not on it every day, as you guys know. And in fact, I've hardly been on it all in the last few weeks. But I still give a fuck about the entire communities. And I don't just mean a particular genre, because I bounce around all over the place. But as far as the platform goes, I care about it. All of it, and the people within it. And that means when you're active in a community, it's not just all the sunshine, lollipops and rainbows. It's keeping an eye on the place and what everyone's up to. And we've watched so many demises over the years. What's interesting is there's a lot of commentators who have really only been on YouTube for a couple of years, and just the demise that they've witnessed. And then, God, I've been on here since 2018 in terms of being an active going live YouTuber. I discovered Molly Golightly when she had 3,000 subscribers. And she spent most of her time bitching about how Australians are all bitches. And she was this entertaining train wreck viewing. I mean, then she got too cocky and started, you know, crossing the line, like the whole thing with Shanann Bruchek, for example. But I've told you guys how I used to have her playing in my house, and people would be walking past my place on the track down to the beach, and I used to sort of look at them with horror because they were obviously going, what the fuck is she listening to? I had this screaming banshee booming out of my living room. I'm going back to my spot, guys. I couldn't see a thing. I'm just going to have to hover on the track like a weirdo. And then once we've sort of offloaded, we'll go back down to the beach and throw all the juju into the ocean. But I'm including all of these one-eyed supporters. I mean, I just wanted to have a conversation with some people, you know. But if they were supporting Molly, there wasn't going to be any discussion. The only channel I found that was pro-Molly anyway. And I couldn't deal with it. I felt dirty. I had to have a shower. No joke. Okay. Let me get on top of everything. I think some of the people in chat have got better goss than me, Joey. Plenty of groups are calling her out. I know, I mean, fancy paying someone who's defending you with like a tenth of the information. And yeah, Laura, I don't know why. I don't know why you were so intent on defending her when people were filling you in on what had happened and you ignored it. I mean, as soon as I heard her say, I'm not responding to the trolls unless they pay me a super chat, was about the time that I bailed because, again, I can't handle people that are just saying, well, I've actually had a look at quite a few different sources, and from what I can tell, this is what happened, and this is the evidence I've actually got, and I'm going to form my opinion on that. But, you know, you're actually getting this point wrong, and you're called a troll. I mean, I didn't write all of that shit in chat. I was just explaining my position, but I would imagine a lot of trans groups are going to go for her now because that was another thing, the trans bashing stuff. Like, Molly has said some absolutely horrific stuff in the last week, and it is trans bashing, full stop. And if it went to court, it would be found to be trans bashing. And I have an issue with non-trans people saying what is and isn't trans bashing. Like, ask the trans people. And even then, some might be offended by some things and others may not. But at the end of the day, it's the person who's it's aimed at and how it made them feel that matters. Just because there's a trans person in Japan who wouldn't be offended by it doesn't mean Mallory won't, and vice versa. We're not bitches, we're good eggs. She's also been reported to Patreon looking at Twitter. Oh, on Twitter, okay. Molly wants everyone to go at Mallory now because of all this happening to her, and it's not Mallory's fault. Well, I mean, their little feud, that got ugly pretty fucking quickly, didn't it? But that's another thing, actually, too, Nana. That was annoying as well. Another argument that is pointless. If you're trying to engage in a discussion like an adult, with an adult who has a differing opinion, and I often play the role of devil's avocado and take on a viewpoint that I don't believe in just because I like healthy conversation with reasonable people. But, and I know it's advocate, I just say avocado because I think I'm funny. But, and I should have trademarked that because that got pinched pretty early on in the YouTube streets. That's another response, though, that you get from her. Well, what about when Mallory did blah, blah, blah? That doesn't stand up in a court of law. Sorry, guys, but when someone's charged with something, you can't have witnesses going, yeah, but she did this. Like, if what she did's a problem, then go live and talk about that. But don't diminish the severity of what Molly did by saying, yeah, but Mallory did this. What another pathetic preschooler argument. He said, she said. Like, that's what irritated me about it was, although I was also thrilled that I found some voices of reason in there, and more than I'd anticipated, to be honest. It was refreshing. That was when I was in Laura's. But then, you know, I saw the chat of other people who were calling out Molly and Molly supporters in their chats and the crap they were saying. Like, it was a fucking chaotic morning. But yeah, that's another response that does my head in, along with, if you don't like them, don't watch them. It's that simple. No, I'm a consumer and I'm an observer, and I'm not here just to tell you all I think you're wonderful, because for the most part, that sort of community I haven't really had a lot to do with for a long time because I don't think they're wonderful. I think my phone's overheating, guys. My screen is black. I cannot see a thing. I'll just have to wait here and keep it in the shade. Look at that. You're going to be looking at some twigs, I reckon. I'll just double check my screen's not on some sort of, you know. This phone is a snowflake. It's not even warm today. I can't even find the bit where you can increase the brightness. Come on a beach walk in Tory and look at dead leaves all day. Yeah. I really should start going live from my deck. I wonder if I take this screen protector off, if that will fix it a bit. I can't take it off. It's stuck. Huh. I don't know what to do, guys. You just stand here and hopefully you can see the beach. God, I didn't wear my sunglasses either so I could read the screen, and now I've got really like bright light in my face. Maybe I should just end this live, finish my little stroll, and then go live from home. Come on, phone. This is like the darkest, dingiest part of the where I'm standing, and I'm hoping it's sort of the least hot, but I can't. I'm not going to just like beach monologue. There's my thongs and my water bottle. I might have some water actually. Why don't I just take you down to the beach and we can throw the bad juju out into the ocean? And I'll guess where the end live button is. That could be interesting. I'm the sort of derp that I wouldn't end the live and you'd all just be walking along the beach while I'm chatting to the dogs and passers by. But yeah, I don't really want to just stand here and talk. I mean, I have a lot to say about this shit. A lot. But this YouTube world we play in is getting more and more bizarro world, like Seinfeld, with every passing day. And I'm not going to say I'm a believer in karma because I think karma has been twisted to only be a negative thing, and it was meant to be a positive thing too. In fact, growing up, the only karma I ever referred to was good karma. I didn't know about the bad karma. But I think people have to be held responsible for their actions, you know, and because of the way YouTube's set up and it's under moderated really, so many people get away with so much shit for a very long time. And it might lead to YouTube being a bit more proactive and looking at other channels as well and doing some proper monitoring. And there's a gorgeous little spot here. Hang on. Where I'll still be in the shade. Let me see if it gets better sitting here for a few minutes. No, it's still very bad. I can't see anything. I can't even. Now I've lost my screen, which I can't see the thing I'd move. I'm going to have to just shut my phone down, guys. Like, I don't even know what you guys are looking at now. Hopefully not me. Um, yeah, I may have to bail because my phone is. I mean, I know what would fix it. Sticking it in that water, because that water is cold. Like, I've transitioned into my wetsuit, although only my wetsuit shorts at the moment, but the water temperature has dropped. It's getting back to that hallelujah temperature. I mean, it wasn't actually that bad. Well, no, it was. It was very cold. I'm actually still here. My phone suddenly. There's a few of you still here. Oh my God. Why, when I went to turn it off, my phone lit up? It's not great. Hey, wake the truck up. See, I can see names. But yeah, I will end it because now I can see the end button. I'm going to go for a walk and I will reconvene with you, Grievers, those of you who are still awake, fairly soon, like in the next hour. Let's have a live before I have to cook dinner. But yeah, enjoy the scenery briefly. This is my front yard, for those of you who haven't seen it before, in beautiful Tasmania, Australia. Where, yes, even people in the bottom of the world are aware of this YouTube bullshit. Hello, puppy. I've got new... Hello. I've got a new friend. Are you going to adopt me as your mum? Are we best friends now? You there? Do you want to say hi? Hello. Hello, you. When I get home, Sunny will smell you and she'll be like, who have you been cheating on me with? Are you going to join your buddies? Say, oh. No, I don't want to end it because I still can't read a thing. All right, so we'll be revisiting the whole concept of me going live on the beach from my phone. But guys, seriously, I really appreciate having you here. I know that you would have all said really interesting stuff, and I'm just so bummed I didn't get to read it. But I will just go for a walk and get home and reconvene. I'm going to make the most of this beautiful sunshine and fresh air. Do you think any of those YouTubers ever do anything like this? Do they ever get out of their homes? Like, when do they even clean their homes, let alone get out of them? They all need to take some long walks on a beach, you know? Best therapy around. How can you spend your lifetime sitting inside in front of a community, in front of a computer, abusing the fuck out of people? I don't want to be lying on my deathbed thinking, I'm so glad I spent 1/3 of my life fighting with idiots online. But I know that when I die, I'll be fucking grateful that I spent time with you guys online, for sure. I was about to burst into... I'm just trying to get the screen back. It's still pretty bad. Hi, Scout. I can only see names. I can't read comments. I'm not surprised people have left me, though. It was a very unprofessional live. But I thought you'd all enjoy the beach. We always have fun down here. So, yeah. Taking the view, guys, and I will reconvene at home shortly. I hope you all come back. And for those who can't because it's bedtime or whatever, thank you so much for popping in, and see you all very soon. Like, truly, in under an hour. Until then, don't get hit by, don't get struck by a smooth criminal. Or Molly, go lightly.